The Nintendo 64 was known for many things. It was known as the last cartridge-based system for Nintendo until the Switch came around. It was known for its unique Trident-style controller, and it was known for some of the best platformers out there. Now, over time, a number of different manufacturers made new controllers for the Nintendo 64 for those who did not like that Trident-style design. Hori is one such manufacturer, and they released their Hori Pad 64, but in Japan only. And this hot little number has been well sought out by collectors for many years. In late 2018, Retrobit announced that they were coming out with a controller inspired by the Hori Pad, and that's what we have here today. Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where in this video, we are going to unbox and test the Retrobit Tribute 64 for the Nintendo 64 and USB-equipped devices. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions, and if this is your first time to the channel, I want to take a second and thank you for stopping by, checking out what we have going on here. If you like what you see here, I invite you to check out some of the other videos that we have here on the channel. If you're interested in Retrobit products, we have a lot of Retrobit focused content. We have stuff for the N64, including how to get a better picture out of it using HD Retrovision cables, the Retro Tank, and how to go ahead and modify it so that you can use component cables, not just composite or S video anymore. And if you really like what you see here, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. That way every time we come out with new content, you're kept the most up to date. So back in 2018, I got an inside tip from my guys over at Retrobit. Hey, we're coming out with a new controller for the N64, and we think you'll kind of recognize what it was influenced by. This is definitely influenced by the Hori Pad for the N64. Now, it is not a direct copy. It has changed the layout and size and design a little bit to kind of freshen it for 2019. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these, we're going to unbox them, we're going to see how they look. We're also going to compare it to an original Hori Pad too. My friend Brian and the guys over at Live Action Games, Adrian and the crew, they have one over there for us to go ahead and compare these two. Let's hit the bench. So we have 4 different versions of the Tribute 64 here on the bench, from the the Funtastic inspired blue, the red, the jungle green here. This one is the USB, and then another red, also USB. We're going to open up these two here in the middle, and first we're going to just set these guys here aside. Check out the red one first. So just want to say, really nice quality box and everything on here. There's not a whole lot on it. The Tribute 64 is part of Retrobit's Platinum series of controllers dedicated to classic retro gaming consoles. Designed for exclusive use on the N64, it features ultimate versatility for any genre of games with a fully responsive analog stick, an innovative and ergonomic design to boost your gaming experience, and the classic A and B buttons positioned just right. Players will enjoy hours of classic retro gameplay. Compatible with the N64, and it has about a 10-foot long cord, which is nice. Sensitive, accurate, and high quality analog stick. Dual Z shoulder pads for maximum grip. Dual Z shoulder pads for maximum grip. Ergonomic button layout with center D-pad, memory card port, and rumble pack port. I added the port there, it doesn't say that on here. So you might be thinking, hey, I can just pull this out of here. Nope, because the cable is actually down here in the bottom. I've been so looking forward to this since I first saw these back at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And it looks like there's a little bit of tape up top here that's keeping everything in. Get off there, you! Get over here! So here we have it. Feels very similar to what I felt in Portland. Analog stick feels really good. D-pad feels good. Not sure this will be the ideal way to play games that requires the D-pad. I mean, you're reaching more than halfway over the face of the controller to access that D-pad, so something to be aware of. The buttons and everything, they feel very good, very clicky. The D-pad does feel good. Now, the shoulder buttons are not labeled. And I kind of wish they were, so we knew which one they meant as the L and R and which ones were the Z's. They feel good. These feel a little bit on the shallow side, where, I mean, it looks almost like it's flush it almost feels like they get to be flush with this part of the controller when you press them in. I do wish that they were a little bit taller, not gonna lie about that. The molded plastics and everything, they feel good though. It doesn't feel cheap. Let's grab a rumble pack and a memory card and see how they fit in here. So first up, this is my OEM Nintendo controller pack. Snug, but not a death grip. I mean, it feels confident going in there. Next up, my Nintendo branded rumble pack. Same thing, I mean, it goes in and out very well. And then finally, I do have, this is a massive memory card 32 times for use with the N64, even though it looks like a rumble pack. Yeah, everything feels fine on here. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to unbox the Jungle Green USB variant, but we gotta take a trip. We're gonna head to Live Action Games because not only are we going to unbox this, we are going to compare this one to an actual Hori Pad. So I figured that we had to give you a good look here of not just the retro bit controller itself, but also compare it side by side with, you know, what it's basically inspired by. And as you can see here, the original Hori Pad is a little bit narrower than what we have here with the retro bit controller. The overall layout and everything, pretty darn near identical. The thumbsticks, you know, the analog sticks look about the same and everything. D-pad is maybe shifted a little bit more to the left, where this is a little bit more centered on the Hori Pad. The difference is negligible though. Button sizes, the C buttons look like they're a tick smaller. A and B buttons also look a little bit smaller, but D-pad looks about the same size too. On the back side here too, you can see that it does accept the rumble pack or the memory card or whatnot that you have in it. It'll take the same with either one. Now one thing I did notice, and this actually should be mine. This is actually loaned to the channel by our good friend Brian Morgan. You know, Brian's the guy that we got Mega Man 5 for when we were in Milwaukee. Well, this was at one of our local game stores, and I saw it, posted something on it, didn't buy it, came back to get it, and Brian had already bought it from out from under me. So I may just take this one home with me. But one thing I am noticing here is the triggers on the Hori Pad do feel like they have more travel than what the Retrobit controller has. You know, the Hori Pad, you can actually see how much taller the buttons are in relation to the side of the casing. When you push them in, they're not flush all the way down like they are on the Retrobit controller. Just a minor thing, they both feel good in the hands. I do like the fact that this is a little bit wider than what the Hori Pad is. That's one of the things that people often complain about the Hori Pad, is the fact that it was, you know, designed basically for the Japanese market with smaller hands. So again, thanks to Brian and Adrian at Live Action Games for letting me compare the Hori Pad to the Retrobit version that's basically inspired by it. So now we have everything hooked up to our N64 here, and we're going to use the red one. So B is the bomb, A is the blasters. And it looks like the back trigger is L, or the trigger on the left side is also L. This would make it Z then. And that's R. So R, L. I mean, the buttons and everything, the button presses feel great. Analog stick feels really, really stout too. I mean, this is doing everything that it should be doing. You'll always work on upgrading the blasters. That's just my general philosophy. Now, there's a secret passage here up ahead on the right at some point. I always love the way the wingtips just glided across the tops of the water in this level too. Even on the Super NES version it did. You know, it looked really cool on this part. Alright, so here's a part where you should be able to go into the waterfall. You should be able to go into the waterfall. It wasn't letting me. That's weird. There's something about that I think you have to do. Let's go. Alright, let's get into all range mode. Now, if you have problems doing somersault, it's up or down in the right arrow. I know I was having problems doing just the somersault if I just hit the right arrow. That was just boost. It's one thing I do kind of wish that they would have made the L and R the same button on either side, you know what I mean? But Star Fox 64, the Rumble Pack's working great and everything too. Let's play another one. All right, next up, sticking with the N64, does it smash? Now, I am not good at Smash. I will admit that right from the get-go. We'll go to one-player game. Yeah, I mean, so far so good here. Ooh, Link got me there, though. Got him! Come on, Link, get out of there. We're able to beat Link in the first one. Let's see if we can do one more. Oh, the Team Yoshis. These guys play dirty. This reminds me, too, if you haven't had a chance to pick it up yet, I highly recommend Yoshi's Crafted World for the Switch. It is such a fun game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not having any control issues or whatnot here. And I'm, like I say, I am not good at Smash. I will admit that. I don't think I played this when it first came out. I don't think I played it until I bought it recently for the channel here to be able to do reviews and stuff. I think I've got 4 to go. No! He got me! Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Yoshis. All right, I died once. Works fine for Smash. Okay, I admit it. I was a WCW mark back in the day. Huge WCW mark in the day. Because, you know, if you're NWO, you're NWO for life. Yeah, this is definitely a bit awkward, I would say, for using the D-pad on here. Oh, with the suplex! Oh, clothesline into the corner. Vintage Bret Hart. Goldberg doesn't seem to know what to do with the excellence of execution. Oh, he's going for it. Will Goldberg submit? He does not. Make sure that you have your parents' permission before you call the wrestling hotline. 1-900-909-9900. Mean Gene Okerlund will have all the wrestling news straight from WCW for you. Oh, he's going to ring his bell across the rope, the ring post. He busted him open. He's wearing the Crimson Mask. Goldberg is gushing. I mean, the analog stick, or the D-pad's not terrible. It's not as bad as I was afraid that it was going to be. Let's see now. Oh, Bret Hart not quite able to put him away. This is the greatest night in the history of our sports. Hart for the pin. 2, 3. All right, final game for the N64. We got to play some Goldeneye. Goldeneye really defined a genre back in the day. We are going to start new, select mission. Now, I know some people like to do on the Trident design where they actually held it this way and then use the buttons on this side to move and strafe and whatnot. All right, analog stick is good there. And I can go side to side there. Nice thing is I can actually reach over and use my right thumb to aim up, down, left, right. So that's nice there. So triggers on the back will shoot. Took a little bit more there than I would have liked to. Part of that was because I had my brightness turned down on my television. I could not quite see what I had for here to get the sniper rifle. Oh, hello. Thought I heard someone shooting at me. There's one. Got him in the junk. So what I'm finding useful gameplay-wise here is to use the left, what I call the L1 trigger to aim, and the R2 trigger, what will basically be an R2 trigger to shoot. Yeah, I mean, it does a decent job here on Goldeneye II. Got him right in the head. What are you hiding back here, comrade? Oh, you are just hiding, you comrade. There we go. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna connect one of the USB controllers to our Switch, and we're gonna see how that plays. So I've got everything connected to my Switch, and check that out, that's pretty damn cool. All right, so let us go into the NES Switch Online games. So the start button works as home, that's cool. You know what, let's go to Punch Out. So the right arrow button is start, at least for this. L and R, or ZL, ZR. The analog stick does work, that's awesome. Now with this, I do feel like the buttons are a little bit close to the D-pad. Sit down, Glass Joe. Let's go back to the game selection here. That's good to see that works there. Let's see, what's another one? Do Donkey Kong. So yeah, that's important to note that your mapping is, the right arrow button is your start button. Analog stick and D-pad both work just fine for Donkey Kong here. I mean, I'm no Steve Wiebe, but we got through that just okay. Home. Let us try, let's do a little bit of Cuphead. We'll do Mugman. I always do Cuphead. I've actually never played as Mugman. Okay, so that's weird that the left C button is shoot. Okay, I guess it's more traditional D-pad placement in relation to the buttons. Yeah, it's one of those, can I? No, we're gonna pause, options, controls. Yep, worthwhile to remap. You know, it says rumble on. I need to throw the rumble pack in here. There we go. So something that, just to be aware of, that you'll probably want to remap your buttons. All right, so I'm terrible at Cuphead. Normally, this does not make it any better for me. One last thing I'm going to do here, let's do some Street Fighter. Let's try some Street Fighter. Ryu versus Fei Long. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, nice combo. Holy crap. Fei Long has always been one of them. It's like Guile for me, that he always just, he's got my number. Wow. That's what I say. I mean, he just corners me and kicks my ass. Wow. Wow, wow. Well, controller's working fine. I just suck against Fei Long, so. But there you have it, guys. Our review of the Tribute 64 from Retrobit. Very good controller, really comfortable. I was pleasantly surprised on the WCW game how comfortable it was to use the D-pad. I wasn't expecting that, so that was definitely a good thing. I do wish that they would have labeled what these triggers are, just so that you had a better idea as you're playing which are L and R and which are the Z triggers. That would have been nice. And I do wish that these shoulder buttons were a tick taller. But above and beyond that, this is really good. It feels good in the hand. Very comfortable to hold. Worked with all of my accessories that I threw at it. If you are looking for a Hori Pad style controller and you don't want to spend over $100 for one, this is a great investment for you guys to check out. And if you haven't done so yet, head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. They will have these available in the very near future, both in the USB and the N64 variants. So it's something you will definitely want to check out. I do want to thank Retrobit too for keeping me in the loop with these, let me know that they were coming out with them, giving us updates as time went along, and allowing us to go ahead and do a review of them. Thank you guys at Retrobit. It is something I greatly appreciate. Thank you for all the support that you have on the channel here. Now, if you do have any comments or questions about the Tribute 64s or anything retro gaming in general, as always, please feel free to email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. We're on Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK. And we've always got the conversation going over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. You can also go ahead, leave a comment down below in the comment section. I love to hear from you guys and gals out there when we do post new content. Now, like I mentioned too, head on over to Castlemania Games. On orders of $30 and up, you do get free standard shipping and handling in the lower 48 states. And on most items on the website, if you use promo code ROX10, save 10% on most items on the web too. So that's a very good deal that Ryan has there. And I do appreciate his supporting the channel and really supporting all of you with all of that too. Now, if you want to support the channel, there's a couple different ways you can do so. If you want to get early access to all of our content, exclusive one-on-ones with me, and a whole lot more, head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, $12 a year. You get early access to all of our content, exclusive one-on-ones, and just help us keep this channel going, just like all of these awesome people that you see on screen right now. You can also head on over to our Teespring store on screen and pick up some Rock Solid Productions merchandise, from hats and shirts to sweatshirts and a whole lot more. Everything that we do raise goes right back into the channel. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, if you like what you see here, if you want to see more, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do come out with new content, you're kept the most up to date. The Tribute 64, it's a rock solid controller. I am Gary with Rock Solid Productions. I thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.